Into your eyes, I see all the love inside. Don't let life pass you by. If you wanna be mine, it's gonna be a wild ride. Gonna hold on tight, roll with the punches when there ain't no end in sight. It's never thinking about the cost, getting back home when you get thrown on.
Батыш дүйнөсү жана деги эле ранчо Америкада ушунчалык популярдуу десек болот. Керек болсо Диснейдин ааламында дагы атайын чакан ранчолор бар. Биз азыр Орландодагы Дисней ааламында жүрөбүз жана анын Three Circle D Ranch деген мындайча айтканда Микки Маустун ранчосу. Албетте биз бул жакта Дисней ааламына келген жокпуз. Биз азыр Орландода жүрөбүз. Анткени Орландода аймактык родео боюнча биринчилик өтүп жатат. Бирок бир сыйра неме Микки Маус аттарына көз салып коелук. Анан кийин тиги родеого барабыз. Бул келейген мырзанын аты Пол, Пол. Пол Микки Маус немелеринен Першерон дейт. Жаман чоңкен. Полдон тышкары бул жакта мисалы мына бул аттын аты, бул да Першерон экен. Шеф. Кличкасы шеф. Кийинкиси Бельгиялык Серч. Булардын бардыгы албетте Миккинин аттары деп койсок болот. Негизинен булар кечинде иштейт. Элдерди баягы неме болот? Көңүл ачыш үчүнчү. Мындайча айтканда бул аттардын бардыгы шоу бизнесте. Немен хан сарайы. Мультистей хан сарайы да. Мультистей хан сарайы.
Told you I got no direction. A pickup and a camper ain't a hole. I ain't saying that he's wrong.
Америкада аттардын көпчүлүгү өзүңөр билгендей азыр жумушка колдонулбайт жана кичине мисалы Техас штаттарында же баягы салыштырмалуу батыш же орто штаттарда ранчолук нерсеге колдонулса, башкача айтканда мал бакканы. Бул жакта Флорида жактарда же болбосо анча-мынча баягы колунда барраак штаттарда малчылык көп өнүкпөгөн штаттарда аттарды негизинен көңүл ачуу үчүн колдонушат. Башкача айтканда ушинтип татна кайрак кылып минип нары бери бастырып анча-мынча жорголоткону. Бул деле ат үстүндөгү спорттор болуп эсептелет, бирок албетте бул накта америкалыктан кичине айырмаланып, ковбойчулуктан кичине айырмаланып мүмкүн. Мурунку британдардан калган кандайдыр бир ак сөөгүрөөк оюн катары бааланат. Ошондуктан бул жакталардын көбү салыштырмалуу эми колунда бар кишилер.
Even when they say you ain't got a lick of sense, it's a wild ride, but it sure beats sitting on the fence. living. And maybe that would be enough.
Okay, so in the hunter saddle class, it's based on hunter type, field type horses. So you want your trot, it's based on 3 gears. Your walk, your trot, and your canter, both directions. You want your trot to be forward, lifted, and floaty. You want your headset to be not too low, not too high, so even with the horse's conformation. You want its chin not to be tucked in too close to its chest, and you want their expression to be happy. So as you can see with Madrid here, he's a very good mover. He's a 3-time world champion. Moving forward through my legs and into my hands. And he's soft and floaty. Whoa. So in your walk, which is different from the Western pleasure, which we also show at the paint shows, you want it to be forward and soft, but not rushed. So the Western pleasure horses like to walk a little bit slower. These horses walk a little more freely and naturally. So the third gear they call for is the canter. This gear you want to be forward, free moving, so they're big behind, big hock, big soft front leg. This is the money gear. This is the gear that will separate the really good trotters from the winner. So as you can see in his back legs, he moves underneath himself. He's very balanced, especially on a circle like this. He kind of just carries himself around. Whoa. And so you want a soft look in their eye, their ears relaxed. Some horses will lick their lips and chew their bit. Some horses will go around with their ears pinned, and that usually will tell the judge that it's sore somewhere. So good expression, forward movement. Steady pace, cadence is very important. When you lope off or when you trot off, those first 5 steps are what you want to maintain around the whole arena. And as a judge's point of view, that's very, very important to look for. The minute that horse switches into that gear, does it stay the same? Because when you're judging, you're standing in the center of the arena, you have 20 horses circling around you. So when you're judging and you look up, does that horse look the same as it did the last time? Or is it faster? Or is it slower? Or is the rider busy with her hands or feet? You want to make it look as easy. You want to make it look like the person sitting in the stands could plop right on and go around. That's everyone's goal. All about your homework. You have to prepare outside of the arena before you get inside the arena. Things will always go wrong. It's very, very rarely do you sit up and have a perfect trip, whether you hit traffic, passing 3-4 other horses, or have 3-4 other horses come by you. But if you prepare outside the arena, it's really easy to get in there and show a good one. He's getting qualified for the World Show this year, so he'll be heading to the World Show in September. September in Fort Worth, Texas. Very well. I'm excited. Now he's won the world twice already, so he's kind of a been there, done that kind of guy. And he had a retired year last year, and we literally just pulled him out of the pasture probably a week and a half ago. Saddled him up, kind of trying to. He's a little out of shape right now, as you can tell, the extra flubber. But I'm excited, and September can't come soon enough. A lot of time. To form a bond and for these horses to understand what's right and what's wrong. I have a lot of 2-year-olds this year, 3-year-olds this year I'm showing, and just teaching them to carry themselves around. And it's not so much a dominance thing, even though they're herd animals. So the way their brain thinks, they're either alpha or you're alpha. I don't like the word dominant. I like respect. Respect, I think, is a better word. And a lot of these horses, especially this guy, if they know right and wrong, they're perfectly fine and willing to do whatever. When they get confused, it's a whole nother story. If they don't know what you want, they will just sometimes just mentally check out. And but if they know right and wrong, and you stay soft and teach them their job, especially when when they have the talent to do these kinds of classes naturally, it makes our jobs a lot easier. Well, you see how large he is? I'm 120 pounds, and he's about 1,500 pounds. I can pull and yank and kick, but honestly, it'll probably just make him mad and make him go in there and screw me over. And teach him right from wrong, steer him left and right, get him where I want to, teach him where, when he gets where I want to release. And that tells him, okay, this is where I need to be. And when we go in the pen, he's happy to do it. He loves showing. Yeah, he's had a year off and he loves it. And I'm thinking today he felt like he was really glad to get back in there. So I'm a horse trainer, so I collect the bills, which is nice. So client base, it's more of a hobby. There is winnings at the end of the year. You acquire points at every horse show, and at the end of the year, we have a top 20 list. And if you're in that top 20, you win money. We have a lot of 2- and 3-year-old maturities. Also, we have maturities for older horses, which offer money. These types of horse shows, it's just the point system where you acquire points for the end of the year. It's a very expensive hobby, but it's not like horse racing where you go every week and you win a purse.
Gather round, friends. It's time for a toast. Let us raise up a cold one together. Texas forever. From the pines to the mountains, the coast to the plains, there's a pride down inside us. It's hard to explain, but if ever you were one, then always you'll be. You may wander this world, but your heart never leaves. As long as cowboys still saddle their horses to ride, out here there's just some things that
bread, butter, preserves, fine steaks rolled over wood coals with fruits and berries and seeds. I could rope and hold as strong as wood.
This is Annie Oakley, and you can see her posed here in her publicity photographs for Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. Annie Oakley was one of the most famous performers in Wild West shows that were incredibly popular in the United States at the turn of the century, the late 1800s and early 1900s. And there were a lot of women just like Annie Oakley who were the forerunners of women competitors in rodeo. And there's another one over here that we have to show you.
So about the woman in the Wild West show, and like Wild West show in general, like what was it for people who are from different part of the world?
The Wild West shows were extremely popular as a form of entertainment in the United States. These were for people who had never seen an Indian and had certainly never seen a woman ride a horse and shoot with a gun. It was unheard of at this time. And one of those women who was really early was a woman named Lucille Mulhall. And you'll see in this case here, we have got a pair of her spurs. Now, Lucille Mulhall is referred to as the world's first cowgirl because she actually did the very same things that the men did. And she was good at it, and oftentimes she beat them.
So at those days, I mean, it's far before the gender equality things, and people's attitude for it is very different.
Yes.
But were there like a real serious limitations? I mean, obviously there were, but like how did the woman fit into this male-dominated West kind of thing, cowboy thing?
Yes, well, Carmen Beck, let me show you over here. In this case, women had to also show that I can do all these men things, but hey, I'm still a woman. And one of the ways that they had to show that they were still a woman was in their dress. And so you see that here in this case. You see a lot of beading, you see a lot of fringe, you see a lot of color. And so for a society, a population in the United States that at the time was very uncomfortable with a woman doing these manly things, this was one of the ways that women said, but it's okay, I'm still a female because look how I'm dressing.
But that technically means that they would have like extra work to do because you have to be fast, strong, and still beautiful, kind of. And men just could keep with just two, without being beautiful.
That is true. And you had to make these. If you're a female, you could not go to the store and buy these. You had to make these yourself.
And so it was a bit harder for women much harder for women to go there. How many women would actually go there? Like it would be an ordinary thing for girls, I want to grow up and become a cowgirl, or it was something like just very few would do it?
Well, that's an interesting question because these women who performed in Wild West shows, they learned all of their skills actually on the ranch. They actually had to help dad or brothers round up the cattle or vaccinate or sort. So the women who performed in these shows had their background in a real ranch. And then as these shows died off, We'll walk around here to another case. These women were able to take their real skills that they used on the ranch and apply them to rodeo. So after the women who were very good at winning awards and competing, having come from Wild West shows, they said, hey, well, let's try rodeo. And so many of these women, like Vera McGinnis here, did very well. And they earned a lot of money by going out and competing. And this led to other ranch girls saying, hey, I can do that too. And so then you had a lot of women going out and competing. And this is a picture of 3 of our favorite women. On the left here is a woman named Kitty Canut, and she's also known as Diamond Kitty because she had a diamond in her front tooth. Now, when she would go to compete at rodeos, you have to pay an entrance fee. So she would pull the diamond out of her tooth and go sell it at a pawn shop. And then when she would win at the rodeo, she would go back and get her diamond back and put it back in her tooth. These are many of the patches. Today they're paper, but they used to be made of a very nice material, as you can see here, that your competitors would wear.
With all this women entering into this rodeo world, which was at those days something kind of risky show business kind of thing, so you would be like quite very popular, famous, but then it's quite risky, you know, like, so you never know how it ends. Did it affect women's personal life, and if that did, like, what was like the general trend?
Yes, that's actually correct. It did in fact have a very big impact on their life. So as these women went out and competed and they traveled and they earned their own money, we find that the divorce rate in this group is incredibly high when you study this particular group. And that's because they were independent, they were out on their own, they were earning money, they didn't have to be reliant on a man anymore. And if a man mistreated them, they left, didn't need them. So what you're seeing here is one of the most iconic photographs that there probably is in rodeo history, particularly with women. And this is Bonnie McCarroll, and it is a picture of her being thrown from her horse, Silver. Now, this is not the ride that killed her. The ride that killed her was one where she was competing against men, as women at this time did, and she was told that she would have to ride hobbled if she wanted to compete. Now,
why would they make different arrangement for her?
They felt like it was safer for a female to ride hobbled. And what that means is the stirrups that are on the horse, that are on the saddle, are tied underneath the horse. So they felt like for a female, this is going to be more safe because it keeps her boots anchored in there. Now, your cowboys, they would ride what's called slick. And that means that your stirrups have free movement, which is what you need on a bucking animal. So they told Bonnie she either had to ride hobbled or she couldn't ride. So Bonnie agreed, she rode, she mounted her horse, he bucked, he took a tumble, her boot got caught in the rigging from the hobbles and it dragged her around the course and she died. The people in the crowd were just so horrified to see not only a live death, but also from a female, that from that point on, this is often cited as a reason that women, their participation going direct head-to-head with men declined. And that was Bonnie McCarroll.
So just to clarify if I got it right, so male organizers of that event made special arrangement for a woman.
Yes.
So she would write it differently, and well, she died because of that. But instead of admitting that it was, you know, our fault that we did it, they just said, no, just women shouldn't. That's because she was woman, kind of. It was
correct.
And what happened then?
Well,
since that?
Yes, since that, women's participation in rodeo definitely declined. Then it started to come up again in the 1940s, 50s, when a group of women said, hey, this is not okay. And so they banded together and formed the Women's Professional Rodeo Association. It started out as the Girls Rodeo Association. And a dynamic group of women came together and said, you know what, we're going to have our own rodeo. And so today it's a very thriving organization. It has got some world champions, and the women are participating in absolutely every event.
Your daddy told you I got no direction. A pickup and a camper ain't a hole. I ain't saying that he's wrong, but you gotta do this on your own. So what's it gonna be?